High above us, in the sky we so often take for granted, live creatures of breathtaking beauty. Not because they are rare, but because they defy the limits of what we think is possible. They weren't drawn, they were imagined in light, woven from color, silence, and something close to magic. Every feather tells a secret. Every shimmer is nature's quiet way of reminding us that this world still holds wonder. Some of these birds feel like they've stepped out of a dream. Others carry myths in their wings, whispering of freedom, of devotion, of courage, and of life's infinite creativity. Today, we invite you on a journey across the skies to meet 15 of the most extraordinary birds on Earth. Each one is a living jewel, a masterpiece in motion. And maybe, just maybe, a reminder that beauty is always there if we're willing to truly look. Snowy owl, the silent queen of the north. Far above the Arctic Circle, in a world where the sun vanishes for months and snow stretches into forever, she waits. The snowy owl, a creature so still, so silent, she seems carved from winter itself. Her eyes glow amber against the endless white, burning like twin lanterns in the polar night. And when she spreads her wings, even the wind holds its breath. She makes no sound. Her flight is a whisper of snow on snow, feathers soft as frost, wrapped around a body built to endure, minus 30 degrees and below. Even her feet are hidden beneath a blanket of down, as if the north shaped her from silence and survival. She does not chase, she watches, she waits. Then, with precision and grace, she strikes. To the Inuit and many northern peoples, the snowy owl is not just a bird, but a guardian of ancestral spirits, a watcher in the dark, a voice without sound. And when she glides across the frozen earth, untouched, unseen, we understand something profound. True power doesn't roar, it moves in silence and rules in stillness. Red Cardinal, a flame in the snow. In the heart of a snow-composed forest, when the world has fallen silent beneath winter's weight, a spark appears, a flash of crimson against a field of white. The northern cardinal. He is small, but he burns, a living ember in the cold. His feathers blaze red like a fire kept alive through the darkest months. Beside him, his mate, softer in hue, earth-toned, warm, is no less striking. Together they are balance, boldness and grace, flame and glow. In the quiet of frozen mornings, when breath hangs in the air and the trees still sleep, his song begins, clear, bright, like the first light of day finding its way through frost. But the cardinal is not just beautiful, he is faithful. These birds mate for life. They build their nest together, raise their young side by side, and when one flies off to forage, the other sings, not out of loneliness, but to say, I'm still here. For many, the cardinal is a messenger, a sign from those we've lost, a glimpse of love that never truly leaves. Because real love doesn't always arrive with grand gestures. Sometimes it shows up quietly, in red feathers, in winter trees, reminding us that even the coldest days can carry warmth. Mandarin ducks, the silent loyalty in morning mist. At dawn, when the world is still wrapped in dreams, a quiet mist drifts across a lake in East Asia. The water lies still, untouched, a mirror, holding its breath, and then soft ripples. Two small shapes glide into view, side by side. No rush, no sound, only presence. Mandarin ducks, alive with color but never loud. The male wears a crown of gold and flame, his feathers curling like painted silk. The female, more modest, earthy browns and soft whites, calm and steady beside him. Together they move as one, a portrait of quiet harmony. In Eastern traditions, these birds are more than symbols. They are promises, a pair for life. Should one be lost, the other remains alone, faithful until the end. But behind their gentleness lies quiet strength. When the time comes, the mother leads her ducklings to the edge of a high branch, and without fear, they leap into the water below. Not because they're ready, but because they trust. These ducks remind us, real love doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It shows itself in stillness, in staying, in gliding forward together, even when the world disappears into mist. Peacock, when rain unlocks the light. In India, the air holds its breath after the first monsoon rain. The scent of earth rises warm and sweet, as if the ground itself is exhaling. A distant rumble rolls across the sky. Then, from the shadows of the mist, he appears. The peacock. Majestic, measured, timeless. With a single call, haunting, long, he steps into the light. And when the first sunbeam breaks through the clouds, he lifts his train. Suddenly the world erupts in color, blue, emerald, copper, violet, a living rainbow fanned across the earth. Each feather bears an iridescent eye, not painted, but built from microscopic miracles of light. This is not just beauty, it's architecture, nature crafting wonder from light and silence. In Indian tradition, the peacock is sacred, a symbol of purity, wisdom, and grace. He is the companion of Saraswati, goddess of art and knowledge. And when he dances in the rain, it is said that blessings will follow, abundant harvests, renewed spirits. But perhaps the greatest miracle is not how he looks, but how he makes the world stop and watch. Because real beauty doesn't beg for attention, it simply appears, unfolding quietly, like a secret the sky was waiting to tell. Quetzal, the soul of the sky. High in the cloud forests of Central America, where moss hangs from ancient trees and the air smells of rain and ripe fruit, a shimmer of green slips through the mist. The resplendent Quetzal. Emerald feathers trail behind him, like wind made visible. His tail flows like silk, his body catching the soft light like liquid jade. And when he flies, it feels as if the sky itself has grown a soul. To the Maya and Aztec civilizations, the Quetzal was sacred, a symbol of liberty and divine spirit. It was said he could not live in captivity. If caged, he would die. And so he became a legend, the bird that belonged only to the sky. His feathers once crowned kings and warriors, tokens of honor, of courage, of truth. Even today, his image lives on the flag, the currency, and the heart of Guatemala. The Quetzal doesn't sing loud. His voice is soft, a gentle call that echoes like wind through leaves. But in that softness is something eternal, a reminder that real beauty doesn't demand. It simply exists, free, untouched, alive, only where wings are allowed to open. Emperor Penguin, the silent fire in the ice. At the edge of the earth, where Antarctica stretches into an endless white silence, life seems impossible. Temperatures fall to -40 degrees, winds howl like knives, the sun disappears for months, and yet a shape appears in the storm, moving slowly, deliberately, as if nothing could turn it away. The Emperor Penguin, the largest of his kind, not fierce in appearance, but in purpose. Each winter, as the cold deepens, thousands of males gather on the ice. Each one balances a single egg on his feet, tucked beneath a flap of warm skin, a cradle made of body and will. While the females journey for miles across the frozen sea to feed, the fathers remain. They eat nothing. They do not rest. They huddle together, shoulder to shoulder, beak to beak, forming a circle of survival in the heart of the storm. When the chick hatches, the father is weak, but he endures, sheltering it until the mother returns. The moment of reunion is wordless, but it speaks volumes. The emperor penguin shows us something rare, that strength can be still, that sacrifice can be silent, and that even in the coldest, darkest places, a quiet fire can burn bright and keep life alive. Hyacinth Macaw, the sky that learned to fly. As the sun sinks over Brazil's Pantanal wetlands, the sky turns deep blue, a blue so vivid it feels like velvet stretched across the horizon. And then, that color takes wing. The hyacinth macaw, the largest parrot on Earth, a sapphire streak in motion. His feathers shimmer with cobalt in midnight, his golden eyes glowing, like twin embers in the dusk. With a wingspan nearly 4 feet across, he glides, like a royal banner in the air. His beak, curved and powerful, can crack the toughest nuts in the forest, yet in his voice, there is softness. But it's not just his beauty that captivates, it's his heart. Hyacinth macaws mate for life. They fly together, call to each other in tones no human can decode. If one is hurt, the other stays near, offering food, shelter, comfort, a quiet bond in a wild world. Once hunted and nearly lost, these blue giants were disappearing, but conservation efforts, driven by care, science, and hope, have helped them return to the skies. And when you see them now, silhouetted against the evening light, you feel something rise inside, a sense that love, like color, can take flight, and that the sky, once grounded, has finally learned how to soar. Electus parrot, where opposites embrace. High in the emerald rainforest of New Guinea, where light filters through 1,000 shades of green, 2 flashes of color move through the trees. So different, they seem like strangers. And yet, they are one. The Electus parrot, a species that stuns even scientists. The male is radiant green, bright as the canopy itself. The female is cloaked in deep crimson and violet, with eyes as dark as polished stone. For centuries, people believed they were 2 separate birds, until they learned the truth. This striking contrast belongs to a single species, male and female, 2 expressions of one life, 2 halves of something whole. But the marvel doesn't end with color. Electus parrots are intelligent and deeply bonded. They recognize faces, mimic voices, express emotion. They nest in tree hollows, taking turns to care for the eggs. One watches, the other rests. They live in quiet partnership, a balance of roles rooted in trust. To the islanders, these parrots are symbols of harmony, of yin and yang, of difference held in peace. In a world that so often fears what is unfamiliar, the Electus shows us something rare, that beauty doesn't come from being the same, but from standing together, color by color, wing by wing, exactly as we are. Bird of paradise, when beauty becomes ritual. Deep within the untouched rainforests of New Guinea, where the morning mist clings to moss-covered branches and dew collects like pearls on giant leaves, a silent stage awaits. Then, without warning, a flash of color steps into the light. The bird of paradise. Not one, but over 40 species. Each one a masterpiece, designed not for survival alone, but for spectacle, for art, for love. The male begins his dance, a ritual passed down through generations. He flares his feathers, spins, bows, rises. His body becomes a living flame, gold, turquoise, violet, shifting and shimmering, like a dream brought to life. This is no accident of evolution. Every movement is precise, every feather perfectly placed. It is performance as inheritance, beauty as instinct. To the people of New Guinea, these birds are celestial messengers, bridges between heaven and earth. Once hunted for their feathers, they now soar under the protection of law and culture alike, because their message is too precious to lose. The bird of paradise reminds us, true beauty isn't just something we see, it's something we witness. It's a moment when nature pauses and offers us a glimpse of what it looks like when life itself dances. Rainbow lorikeet, when morning light turns into color. On Australia's eastern coast, just as the first sunlight touches the treetops, something extraordinary begins. The forest doesn't just wake, it erupts. A burst of sound, a whirlwind of wings, and suddenly the sky is filled with color. Rainbow lorikeets, tiny parrots with the spirit of celebration. Their feathers explode with brilliance, emerald green wings, a fiery orange chest, a belly bright as lemons, and a cobalt blue crown that catches the rising sun. But these birds are not just beautiful, they are essential. With brush-tipped tongues designed to sip nectar, they move from blossom to blossom, pollinating trees with every flight, helping the forest thrive without ever knowing it. They live in flocks, noisy, playful, unafraid. They land on balconies, perch on shoulders, chatter like old friends who never left. And perhaps that's why people love them so deeply, because wherever they go, they bring laughter, color, life. In a world that can feel gray and heavy, the rainbow lorikeet reminds us of something simple. Where there is color, there is joy. And where there is joy, life begins to sing again. Blue Manakin, when the forest begins to dance. In the shadowed heart of Brazil's Atlantic rainforest, sunlight filters through the canopy in golden fragments, scattered like notes on a silent sheet of music. Then quietly, the melody begins. A soft, melodic call, a flutter of wings, and from the underbrush he appears. A blue Manakin, electric blue feathers, a fire-red crown, tiny but radiant, like a spark lit in the green stillness. He is not alone. Others join him, 2, sometimes 3, lining up like dancers before a curtain rises. And then they move, in perfect rhythm, hopping, fluttering, spinning, in synchronicity. A courtship dance not of rivalry, but of harmony. All of it for one quiet witness, a female, watching from a nearby branch. She does not interrupt, she simply waits, and the forest holds its breath. In nature, competition is common, but the blue Manakin shows us something else, that beauty can come from working together, from knowing your part in a larger performance. Biologists call it biological resonance, but in truth it feels like something more, a lesson whispered in rhythm and color, that sometimes, to be seen, we must learn to move in unison. Not louder, not faster, just together. Topaz hummingbird, the heart of hope in flight. Deep within the Amazon rainforest, where light falls in narrow beams through a cathedral of green, a flicker moves between the leaves, so small you might miss it. But if you pause and truly look, you'll see a miracle in motion. The topaz hummingbird, barely 4 inches long, but glowing like molten gemstone, ruby, amber, emerald, each feather catching light like fire, held in flight. His wings beat up to 80 times per second, so fast they vanish into a blur. He hovers, darts, climbs, even flies backward, as if gravity has forgotten him. His song is not loud. It's more like a whisper, a hum you feel more than hear, as if the forest itself is exhaling. To the indigenous peoples of the Amazon, the hummingbird is a messenger of hope, a spirit of joy, a promise that good things are coming. To scientists, he is vital, a pollinator, a bridge between flowers, a guardian of the rainforest's delicate balance. He is not powerful, he is not loud, but in his fragility, there is strength. In his silence, purpose. And in every beat of his tiny wings, a truth that echoes across the canopy. Sometimes the smallest hearts carry the greatest hope. Nicobar pigeon, a jewel from another time. Scattered across the islands of the Indian Ocean, where white sands cradle palms, and the waves seem to whisper old stories, a bird walks slowly beneath the canopy, like a memory that refuses to fade. The Nicobar pigeon, at first glance, quiet, but when the light touches its feathers, everything changes. Emerald greens, bronze flames, deep purples. Its plumage gleams like metal forged in moonlight. It doesn't fly often. It prefers the ground, where every step seems deliberate, as though it remembers what the world used to be. And maybe it does. The Nicobar pigeon is the closest living relative of the dodo bird, a species lost to time. This bird has outlived colonization, extinction, and silence. It carries in its wings the weight of a world that came before ours. Scientists have discovered something astonishing. These pigeons navigate by reading the Earth's magnetic fields and the stars themselves, traveling between remote islands with a sense of direction we still don't fully understand. And yet, for all their brilliance, they've nearly vanished, hunted, trafficked, forgotten. But some remain, gliding through the shadows of coral forests, as if to say, "We were here, we are still here." The Nicobar pigeon is more than a bird. It is a jewel from another time, a shimmer of the past still shining in the present, reminding us that beauty may fade, but it never truly disappears. Flamingo, the color of connection. At dawn over the Great Salt Lakes of Africa, the light bends low across the water. The surface glows with a gentle pink hue, as if the sky has come down to rest. And then they arrive, thousands of slender forms, graceful, deliberate, almost otherworldly. Flamingos, the dancers of the wetlands. Their long legs move through the shallows like brushstrokes, their necks curving like ribbons in the wind. But here's the secret. They're not born this way. Flamingo chicks begin life gray, muted, and plain. It is only through what they eat, the algae, the shrimp, the minerals of their world, that their feathers turn pink. They literally become the color of their environment, an embodiment of the life that sustains them. And when they move together, not as individuals, but as one living rhythm. No leader, no instruction, only instinct, only connection. In many cultures, the flamingo is a symbol of harmony and balance, a reminder that beauty doesn't come from standing apart, but from belonging. And as the sun sets, painting the lake in reds and golds, the flock rises as one. A breath, a ripple, a flight that leaves no trail but never goes unnoticed. Because sometimes, the most powerful color is not what we are born with, but what we become together. White swan, the softness that endures. On a quiet lake somewhere in Europe, before the world has fully woken, mist drifts across the water like a memory. And gliding through it, silent, steady, two white shapes move in perfect unison. The swan, a symbol so ancient, so elegant, it feels less like a bird and more like a poem brought to life. Their feathers, untouched by time, catch the morning light like moonlight on snow. Their necks curve gently toward each other, and in that simple gesture, a heart takes shape. Swans mate for life. They build their nest together, weaving twigs and grass into a cradle. They take turns watching over the eggs, guarding, feeding, protecting, not out of duty, but out of something deeper, devotion. In ancient Greece, the swan was sacred to Aphrodite, the goddess of love. In Nordic myth, a messenger between gods and mortals. But here, on this still lake, they ask for no myth, no meaning. They simply glide. And in their silence, we feel something we often forget, that strength doesn't always shout, that grace can be powerful, and that love, real love, doesn't need to conquer, it only needs to stay. The swan reminds us, gentleness isn't weakness. It's what carries us through every storm. Baltimore Oriole, the flame among the branches. When spring returns to North America and the trees begin to breathe again, a spark flickers among the branches. The Baltimore Oriole, a flash of fire orange against the deep green of maples and oaks, as if the sun had perched for a moment just to sing. This bird doesn't hide. He announces himself with a voice as bright as his feathers, clear, cheerful, unmistakable. His song is one of return, of renewal, a promise that winter has truly passed. He weaves a nest like no other, a hanging cradle of silk and string, swaying gently in the breeze. A gift for his mate, a home for their young. In the state of Maryland, the Oriole is more than a bird. He's a symbol of pride, of place, of the wild beauty woven into the American landscape. But you don't need to know his name to feel his presence. Just walk beneath the spring canopy and listen. When you hear that rich, whistling song and catch a flash of orange in motion, you'll know hope has come home again. Indian roller, the bird that paints the sky. Some birds don't just fly, they perform. High above the sun-drenched fields of South Asia, a sudden flash of electric blue slices through the sky, twisting, rolling, tumbling in bursts of brilliance. This is the Indian roller, and in flight, he doesn't simply move, he paints. Wings edged in turquoise and cobalt, chest glowing in soft lilac. He spins mid-air like a brushstroke come to life, each dive a streak of color across the canvas of the sky. To slow him down on film is to watch magic unfold. Every flap reveals a new shade, a new angle of radiance, as if the wind itself had learned how to shimmer. In India, he is sacred, a symbol of luck, grace, and untamed beauty. Some believe his flight blesses the land, others simply stop to watch and smile. The Indian roller reminds us, not all beauty is delicate. Some is bold, unapologetic, alive with motion and meaning. And when he rolls through the open sky, it feels less like watching a bird and more like witnessing joy with wings. Lilac-breasted roller, a sunset with wings. In the wide open skies of sub-Saharan Africa, where the horizon stretches untouched for miles, a small bird explodes into color. The lilac-breasted roller, a living sunset, feathers of violet, turquoise, jade, gold, each hue melting into the next, like the last light of day spilling across the savanna. He perches boldly on bare branches, perfectly still, as if waiting for the wind to remember him. And when he takes flight, it's as if the sky itself had torn open and spilled joy. Photographers call him the most beautiful bird in the world, not just for his color, but for how that color moves. He rolls through the air in mid-flight, a flash, a flourish, a moment that can never quite be captured, only witnessed. In African culture, he symbolizes freedom, individuality, a soul too vivid to be dimmed. Because the roller doesn't blend in, he doesn't whisper, he shines, fearlessly, truthfully, as if to remind us all, Your colors were never meant to hide. They were meant to fly. Scarlet Macaw, the voice of the rainforest. In the dense emerald depths of Central and South America, where the forest hums with life and mystery, a flash of red breaks through the green, the scarlet macaw. Draped in crimson, gold, and cobalt, as if the rainforest itself needed a voice and chose color to speak. With wings wide and brilliant, he cuts through the canopy like a ribbon of fire, each beat echoing through a world older than memory. He is not just a bird, he is legend. For centuries, his feathers have adorned the rituals of ancient tribes. His cry, raw, wild, unforgettable, has echoed across generations. Even today, he's instantly recognized in zoos, in documentaries, in the hearts of those who have heard the rainforest sing. But beauty is only half the story. Scarlet macaws are intelligent, social, loyal. They pair for life, call to each other by name, and pass knowledge through generations, like storytellers with wings. They are the soul of the jungle, a living memory of what the earth once was and what it still longs to be. And when they rise above the treetops, gliding like flame across the sky, they remind us that the wild still speaks. We just have to listen. Golden pheasant, the firebird of the mountains. In the misty mountains of central China, where pine trees whisper and ancient trails disappear into cloud, a flash of color steps into the clearing, so vivid it barely seems real. The golden pheasant, crowned in scarlet, draped in gold, his tail trailing in copper and bronze, like a brushstroke from another world. He moves with the elegance of a story long forgotten, like a spirit from folklore, who wandered into the daylight by mistake. Sometimes called the Chinese peacock, he is no mimic. He is myth made feather. A creature so striking, he's often compared to the phoenix, not because he rises from ash, but because he looks as though he was born from flame. In Chinese culture, he is a symbol of royalty, good fortune, and divine beauty. A bird of emperors, poets, and quiet miracles. He doesn't sing loudly, he doesn't soar far, but when he appears, time slows, silence deepens, and the forest seems to bow. Because some beauty can't be chased, it arrives only when the world is still enough to see it.